Hello, all you big, beautiful brains out there. Today, we're talking about behaviorism. When I hear the term behaviorism, there are a lot of big names that pop to mind, like John B. Watson, who first established the field, or Ivan Pavlov with his infamous Pavlov's dogs. But today, we're going to talk about my personal favorite behaviorist, B.F. Skinner. Right from the beginning, B.F. was different. For starters, B.F. stands for Burris Frederick. It's quite a name. Burris was his mom's maiden name, and Frederick was his dad's name. Now, B.F. grew up in a small town in Pennsylvania where he mostly enjoyed inventing things. Two of my personal favorites being a perpetual motion machine and a machine that would remind him to put away his pajamas every day. Now, Skinner did not set out to be a psychologist. He actually wanted to be a writer, and he went to college as an English major. He even submitted some of his writing to very famous poet Robert Frost, who said that Skinner wasn't half bad. But Skinner failed to be able to make any money as a writer and claimed it wasn't necessarily his writing skills, but that literary works were very rarely based on real human behavior. Instead, they relied on tropes and reworking old stories that had already been told. In order to better understand those human behaviors that he needed to be able to write his stories, Skinner decided to go back to school and study psychology. In order to better understand behaviors, Skinner went back to his inventing roots from childhood. What he wanted to do was to be able to watch an animal at all times and see how they behaved based on the choices that he offered them. So he created a box, which we now call a Skinner box, that an animal could live in during the experiment. Skinner boxes are designed for small animals like mice or rats or even birds, and within the box, they have everything that they could possibly need. There's food and water and a place to sleep, but there's also different colored lights and tubes for delivering scents and screens to play them videos and buttons and toggles and switches that can be flipped. Pretty much, if an animal can perform a behavior, there's a way to enable the animal to perform that behavior. Because that's what behaviorism is all about. Behaviorists want to observe and measure behavior. Behaviorism is focused on observable stimulus response behaviors. What does that mean? Well, the world does something, anything to you, you perceive that as an incoming stimulus, incoming information. The response that you make is an observable behavior. Any response, even if your behavior is not responding, that's a behavioral choice. You're choosing to respond by not responding. For instance, say that you're sitting there watching me on your phone and you get a text. The text flashes up on your screen. That's a stimulus. We can watch how you respond because you have a lot of behaviors you could perform. You could tap that text, stop watching this video, and just forget about the video forever. You could check the text and then come right back to this video. You could check the text and then tell them all about this wonderful psychology channel that you found and send out a mass text telling all your friends and family to subscribe to Psy vs. Psy for amazing psychology videos. Press the notification bell. Do all the fun YouTube things. Psy vs. Psy. Oh yeah. Or you could just ignore all the text messages altogether, right? So all of those could be responses that a behavioral psychologist can observe and record. If they repeated that same process enough times, video, send you a text, video, send you a text, video, send you a text, they could start to see patterns emerging in the behaviors that you performed right afterwards. And then you can start to pretty reliably predict what somebody is going to do next. If I send you one text and watch what you do, I'm probably not going to know what you'll do the next time. But if I send you 1,000 texts in the middle of a video and you do the same thing most every time, I can make a pretty educated guess that you're going to do the same thing on test 1001. If you'd like to know some of the theories in the history of psychology that influenced behavioralism, you can find those here. Or to check out our latest video, click here. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day watching all of the psychology videos you can. Happy thinking, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.
What is that?
It's a box. I'm in a Skinner box.